Dwyer's going to join us here live from Bathurst. Danny, you haven't missed anything because we've only just started. But welcome to Campbell's Comments. You'll need to pick that microphone up. But welcome to Campbell's Comments and On Loose Lines.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much for the hospitality. What a beautiful room we're in.
Come up really well, didn't it? You know, the club invested a lot of time and not money, but so much for time and effort to bring it all together, and it came out really well.
Yeah, it is. It's lovely. I was here. It's a bit over 2 years now, wasn't it? It would have been. And this was just a shed and a workshop and dreams. And this has all been done through the COVID times.
It has, yeah. No, we put it all together and wanted to add another function centre to our facility, which worked out perfectly. And then the memorabilia room just finished it off with giving everyone the opportunity to see all the history of the showground where we raced for a long period of time. And yeah, just a lot of history and a lot of tradition, and like to bring that to the new facility.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. That memorabilia room, Cam, we had a good look in there just before going live, and probably would have liked to have done it from there. There's no PowerPoints. There shouldn't be either. It's just a beautiful little room, though, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely, and it's amazing the number of people that walk through it, have a look at it, and yeah, there's a lot of history, and there's a lot of the good years too of harness racing too is in that room, and that's why we are here today, isn't it?
It's so important to remember history. It's one of those things that I know, and I think as you get older, you learn that. Yeah, it's so important. You left that a little bit, I suppose, to the members, and in most harness racing clubs, the members are the older, and I mean that in a nice way.
Yeah, true.
So the history is in there because the older people remembered it, and they're the ones that they wanted to remember. So it's really cool. It's one of those funny things, I suppose. But yeah. Yeah,
that's right. And the thing with that, as you say, with the older demographic, they can remember too, rather than just the last 5 years. They can remember a lot longer, and the younger people these days, they can remember something from 5 years ago, but ask them probably something 10 or 15 years ago, and that's sort of gone from their mind, you know what I mean?
In the way the technology goes now, that'll change because it's going to be a lot easier for people to be able to, I suppose, remember things. They'll be able to remember this, rightly or wrongly, maybe going forward, but they will be able to going forward. But that history in that room, a lot of that just can never be captured any other way than the way you guys have done it.
Yeah, that's right. And you need to do it once, and it's there forever.
Yeah, it's been done in a really, really cool way too. It's really interactive with people. You can see everything you need to see. It's a real credit to you.
Yeah, no, thanks, Cam. And the lighting in that just makes it so good too as well. So just a beautiful room.
You always turn your phone off, never have your phone on, but at least our audio is working. We encourage people to get involved. Timmy White is on there and the likes. We won't keep you for too long, but one thing we want to do is highlight the club. How is the club travelling? We'll get to the sales and things that I get to do, but the club itself?
Yeah, no, the club's going really well. We race around about, I think we've got 56 or 57 meetings, I think, this year, and racing nearly every week, which is really good. What we want to achieve as a club to race every week. We've got the horse population, a lot of trainers here based in this area, professional and hobby trainers as well. So, we could probably handle a second meeting a week sometimes with just the horse numbers that we've got, but the way the meetings work out now, there's always 2 meetings a week in the district, so one at Bathurst and one at one of the other clubs in the Western Districts as well, so it caters for our horse population. And the club's going really well. It's fairly sound financially, and we've got a great board of directors and a great staff, and it's 7 years now since we've been here at the new track. Time's flown, really. It's all looking good, and once that training centre is complete that you might have saw on the way in, it should be finished by March, and that'll probably be the last piece in the puzzle.
We now know what's going on. Yeah. What we were wondering, so you answered our question for us. Yeah.
So the training centre there, so 60 stables there. So trainers get the opportunity to train their horses on course, do their fast work on the main track, and have a jog track there as well.
New South Wales, this will get me in trouble, but I am in the heart of it, and I'm not getting back till later next week, so I can get away with it. It is actually in a pretty good situation or position now, isn't it? We come from Wagga. We stayed at Wagga last night. We caught up with Greg Gangle.
Yep.
They're getting a lot of Victorians coming across the border for the good prize money.
Yeah,
training centres.
Yep.
I think there's talk of a training centre. It will be a little way down the track, but at Wagga as well. So, it's New South Wales are really going the right way, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and having a vested interest in a lot of the facilities now as well. So that the industry owns sort of Wagga and Bathurst and Tamworth, so they're
that's all exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and that the money will be spent on the infrastructure in there to look after those facilities. But at the same time, the smaller clubs are looked after as well.
Yeah.
They've got their meetings and they're looked after, and so it's a good spread right across the whole state, I think.
Part of our, I suppose, trip that we're going to end up in Tamworth. So it's quite funny. We went to Wagga this morning. We're here, and then we'll be there. I'll be in John's good books, I suppose, for a while, which is always good. I did ring him the other day and asked him to return me call. So if he's watching, I'll just give him a little drive by that he hasn't got back to me yet. But that's okay. The thing, Cam, you saw today at Wagga, the layout of these clubs, it's simple. but it's so clean and simple, isn't it? And easy to look after.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, no, it's a great setup. It's purpose built for harness in the modern era. I suppose is what we're doing. You know, you're not having to look after and fix up or maintain a big old area that's would have once had 20 or 30,000 odd people.
Yeah, exactly right.
We're in a different time, and it's a real credit to you guys over here.
Yeah, you're right. It's you don't need the big grandstands anymore that can allow thousands of people to come. It's pretty much to get people in out of the weather all year round. Down at the showground, our facility down there was great, but you couldn't see the track from the bar or the canteen, or from the dining room. You had to go outside to watch them. Whereas,
and both these venues are that way, aren't they?
Yeah,
they're ramped up.
Yep.
The one thing I hate, a lot of clubs have gone away from, but grass. Because I know in wintertime, it's a pain because it's wet.
Yep.
But in summertime, when you get your crowds, the grass is so key because families can get out there. They can get the kids out there. But if you can get a portable bar out in different spots, they can have a lot of fun on that grass area.
Exactly right. And that's what you want to see. Trying to grab the families in there, because that's what the sport's about, isn't it? Grab the families and get them to come out and get the young kids watching the racing from a young age. And we've also got the capacity to put a marquee up on that concrete slab on the left-hand side of the clubhouse there as well. So you've got another avenue there to fit probably 200 people in as well, and got a great view of the track as well. So they can hear everything that goes on. And
they're sort of removed, but they can still hear it.
Exactly,
which is actually what you want. Cam, you said too, like the investment that every track should make coming in. It's exciting, isn't it? And it's a simple one.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. It's investing in your future of your sport. It's I can't speak any highly of what I've seen over the last few days. It's fantastic.
Yeah. No,
and the best part's the hospitality.
Great hospitality.
We've been well looked after. Don't you worry about that.
I'll make sure you get a feed to beer tonight, mate.
There you go.
We're going to roll.
It worked. You said it would work.
We're actually talking about we're doing the run for prostate, of course, for prostate cancer, and Cam and I have signed up, and we're going to run Panorama. But Cam just drove it just then, and I think we're both a bit windy about it. But we're going to do it. We just said we'll just try it. So we better not eat. We better not have a chicken parma or that tonight. We won't be able to. We'll be in a whole world of hurt. I wear many hats. I'm not sure how the NZB one got on there, Cameron. I don't know how that one worked. I'll put the Nutrien one on. Big game changer for Bathurst this year. Big announcement, I suppose, coming with Nutrien coming on board. Firstly, Graham Boyd. I'm sure a lot of thanks has got to go to him because he's been here for you guys through thick and thin for a long time. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we had a great relationship with Graham. He's done that sale, I think, from back in the 90s, from memory. I just can't remember the exact date, but he's done it for a long period of time, and it's always been a great sale. We've never struggled for lots. It's always been a great part of the carnival, and it was always one thing when we sort of talked about a move to Nutrien was to make sure that Graham was looked after and we didn't make him feel like he was being left out of it completely. And I think that's all been sorted out pretty easily, and Graham's quite comfortable with everything. We had an agreement with Graham for another couple of years where he could stay on and do the sale, but I think he's happy to walk away, so to speak, and we're pleased that we're involved with Nutrien because it shores ourselves up for the future, and we've always got to look after the future. You can always just play a couple of years ahead, but sometimes that might work against you later on. And I know with Nutrien they're in it for the long haul, so we're very happy to be involved. I do know a little bit of an exclusive is that Mark Barton said to me today that they've secured, I think, 50 portable stalls, which will really add to your carnival. A lot of the horses will be here the night before, actually on this complex instead of away, so people will be able to potentially come to the races. Yep. Which is that Group 1 night, the night before the race? It'll be the following Saturday, so there'll be races. It'll be the heats. Yeah, we'll have so there'll be probably more people here. Yeah, exactly. And they can actually go and look at those yearlings. Yep. Which is going to be a new, I suppose, new light to it. Yeah, exactly. It's another dimension to the sale, which we probably didn't have. When we're at the showground, they could be stabled on course, obviously because there's a lot of stalls down there. But over the last couple of years, since we moved up here, they've been stable at the showground, but they've had to be transported up on sale day. But it'd be nice just to keep it all in the one location, and people can come and check on the horses, and they'll know that they're safe and come and inspect them and all that sort of thing as well. And logistically, it worked, but it was busy. Like the one time that I came here, it was like once the horses start arriving, there's people wanting to inspect them. Actually, that year I think there was mask or limitation on how many people could go in. Yeah, that's right. There was some funny thing, and people, it got chaotic. But I will say you guys did a huge job. That was pretty cool the way you actually handled that whole day. Yeah. But, just as a little footnote, that was the day they were going to close the borders.
Exactly right. Yeah.
And he's very dry. He's got a dry sense of humour. And I said, geez, everyone's getting out of here. And he said, oh, you don't know. And I said, no. He said, you want to get over the border before midnight. They're closing the borders, which they didn't do. But it got me packing up pretty quick, I can tell you. I was out of here. It was funny, the things you remember.
It's strange times, wasn't it? But, it was a good sale. And, thanks for your involvement with that, Paul, too. It helped us so much. And, I think we're going to take the sale to a new level and maintain some reasonable lots.
I have actually got the banner up here too, and we want to make sure people are aware of it, because these nominations for this sale are actually still open. So that is Sunday the 19th of March. You've got me in trouble because there's a Luke Coombs concert in Melbourne on the 18th. And I said yes, and then I said no. But that's okay. Entries close on the 23rd of November, so they're well and truly still open. But I do know you've got a lot of people already that have put their entries in, and it's pretty exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. I was talking to Mark the other day, and I actually might have been Mike, and he was telling me there's quite a few already nominated, which is good, because I know from previous years when we've closed them in December, we've only got a handful, and we've been chasing horses, left, right and centre to try and get them in. So to have that good base to start with is very pleasing, and I'm sure that'll build our numbers.
And great support, like we were at Jackie Gibson's today. I know she's bringing some Ben Stud. They're going to all four sales, but they're definitely coming in, patronising you. You've got Brooklyn Light. You've got a lot of the regulars that have always been here, but there's a potential for a lot of Victorian horses potentially to come here as well, because it's a very attractive sale as well now, isn't it?
Yeah, that's exactly right. No, I think it's going to work out very well, I think. And if we can get up around the 80 or 90 lots, I think, we'd be more than happy with that, and that's last year we dropped down to about 60, I think, from memory, and we don't want to get a number below that. So if we can rebuild it and start to get up around that 80 mark, I think that'll be really good.
The beauty of this sale is the double, I suppose, eligibility, if you like, being eligible, one for the Bathurst race series, but also then the Nutrien race series.
Yep.
That just separates you in a beautiful way, I think.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I agree. That was one of the, I wouldn't say it was one of the main focus points, but to be able to have horses that go through this sale to go into the main race, and also have a race here in Bathurst as well. Like, we couldn't have asked for any more, really. Like, we could have understood that they said, no, if you don't go through the Sydney sale or Melbourne, you can't go in either of those races or whatever. But to be able to go through the Bathurst sale just makes that attractive and just keeps us together, if you know what I mean. Like, there's one sale and everyone's eligible for whatever it is. Yeah,
it's a very different demographic, isn't it? Like, not demographic, racing calendar, I suppose is the best way to put it. Now, Queensland, the Sunshine Stars, they've got their own race series as well. They're also tied up with Nutrien. We've got Trump Bloodstock, Northern Rivers, Equine, Cobbity Farm, and Harasta Trotters. There's a lot going on that's positive around race series and the way it all changes. It's actually fun.
Yeah, it is. And all around juvenile racing too, which is where the money should be, shouldn't it? And I think it's going to work out well. And if these sort of things can stimulate the breeding industry, well, then that's another bonus as well.
Yeah, and then you've got your colonial bonuses in Victoria. They've got good bonuses here in New South Wales as well. I think we got told today that Jake's I was going to say the wrong name. I won't even go there because I'll get the wrong name in trouble, and Jake will tell me off.
Wingate Farm.
Wingate, thank you very much. Not Yerby, but like a 2-2 or something like that. They get back as a breeder's bonus by the time which is pretty exciting as well. So
and our carnival now too, with the increase in prize money for the Gold Crown and Gold Tiara finals to 150, we'll be nearly pushing $1 million over the whole carnival in prize money.
Yeah, good.
Wow.
Which will be a first time. A lot of investment back into the game, doesn't it? Buying yearlings,
So that's huge.
Yeah, you don't think of it much in those terms, that when you add all the races up and run the club races as well. So we run support races in and around the carnival races. So it's going to be pretty close to that $1 million.
And if this sales series can continue to grow, or the sales can continue to grow, that $1 million could be well and truly bypassed in a couple of years very comfortably.
That's right, exactly right. And the more horses that the horses that go through the sale have got to be eligible for the Gold Crown as well, so that'll keep our numbers ticking over, and it's a bonus too, and get more horses paid up for us. And it
just on there, because you have a few Kiwis watch the show. We have a lot of horses go through our NZB sales in New Zealand that are Bathurst eligible. It's not too late to pay up. Well, no, it's not for our end. Is it? What's it like for you guys?
Yeah, not too late. We just closed our yearling payments back in August. A lot of those horses from New Zealand would probably have made that payment, I'm guessing. Yeah. So, and the foal payments went out. Actually, they were due at the end of August. We've got a lot of foals paid up from New Zealand as well. Good. So, but we're happy to try and take as many numbers as we can and get those numbers back up.
So, just on that, how does it work? to pay up for the Gold
Gold
Crown?
Crown. So it's staged over 4 payments to racing the 2-year-old series. So you start off as a foal, and then 12 months later you got the yearling payment, and then once they turn 2, you've got a 2-year-old sustaining and a 2-year-old final payment. So all up, it's about $1,100.
But you can just nominate. You don't have to. Your horse can be in Victoria, Tasmania.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Zealand.
doesn't need to be. The stand when it first started, the stand had to be paid up for the progeny to be eligible. But we opened up the series, and it doesn't matter what the foal is by, as long as you make that foal payment, you're eligible.
It's almost getting to the stage now when they go to the yearling sales, they're going to need like those golf scorecards to have all the stickers instead of putting them on the horses, because you won't be able to see the horse. There's going to be that many eligibilities.
No,
but that's exciting.
I know in New Zealand, mate, the fillies, it's just right across the bottom of the page now.
Yeah.
You know, fillies, they can run for more money than anywhere. You know, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well, like I was going to say, what's next? Obviously, the training centre is your main priority here. But does the club have more ambitions to do some different things?
Not really. No, I think the training centre will probably be the last piece in the puzzle. Really, once it's finished.
Will that attract new trainers, you think? Like, will the existing trainers that are here take that up?
Yeah, I will. I think they will. A lot of the trainers that are based on the showground will probably move up here. So you've got your Matty Roos that probably work 20, 25 horses. You'll probably take the bulk of the stables. But there's a lot of trainers around there, hobbyists or professional trainers that maybe work small team will come up there as well. But hopefully that's the first part. If the next stage would be for the club would maybe to build, obviously Harness Racing New South Wales would have to fund it, but there could be the capacity there to have another training centre there or increase the numbers, because if the demand is there, 60 probably won't be enough. But just to get it kicked off and we own this facility now, shared between Harness Racing New South Wales and the club. So there's 138 acres. So we've got a capacity to do a lot of things. Yeah.
And that would potentially for people to travel with horses. Like if they want to come to the Crown, they can come in here and stay here.
That would be the plan. Yeah.
Stay at the Ridges, be able to see their horses from the balcony and
get the
and go from there. It works out well, doesn't it?
Close to the mountain, everything.
How do you go with just out of that? How do you go through October and that? Like they're already started a lot of work. Does that throw a curveball for you guys here?
It's busy. Actually, we've got an arrangement with V8 Supercars, and so we basically allow them to use the car park. So we've got about 73 motorhomes or something going to be based in the car park out here. So they're all car racing enthusiasts. We've got 2 race meetings that week. We'll open the clubhouse each night. They'll come in, have a feed, a few beers, and
so financially, it's good for the club
it's
as well.
Good, yeah, and it's
awesome.
Only a stone's throw away from the mount, So, and then your campgrounds are right across the road, so they all walk across the paddock and come and watch the races. And,
good.
Yeah, so
it must be great for the club, not the club, the town.
Yeah, definitely. And when you turn the track lights on, when you go for your walk around the mount tomorrow, or you run, or look down, you'll see the track. Like from at the top of the mount, you look down and see the track. And you imagine if you turn those lights on. For a race meeting.
Cam saw tonight when we're at the top. He goes, "Wow, it's a big track." And I was like, "Yeah, it's 1,000." So but
like moths to lights, won't it? They all just turn up.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a bit of an attraction. So it's a great location, and for the mount to a number of people. I think there's like 60,000 people camp up there. It's amazing.
It is one of those things. I'll get Bathurst Tourism wanting me to do stuff for them, but I threw Cam the keys as we left the motel just there before to have a drive around it. He's stuck at the speed limit because it's actually registered in my wife's name, so he's in all sorts if it's not. But to be able to actually drive the it's something I don't think a lot of people are aware of. Like you can actually
I didn't know anything about it until we got it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and it's a hidden secret. Like it's nearly worth just coming to Bathurst just to drive around.
That's right.
But when you've got the horse racing on and sales on as well, it's
that's right. It's another dimension to the town, and we're pretty lucky that Bathurst is. Pretty well known. You talk to people, away from the town. You go to Queensland or something. They ask you where you're from, and you say Bathurst. And they go, "Well, that's where the car races are, aren't they?" That's one of the first topics of conversation. So,
we've got a heap of people watching. I'm just making sure someone said, "Well done, Danny." Graham Hand from New Zealand. We said there about the Kiwis watching. Cam's getting a bit of cheek about putting a hat on. But I know where those. Sue Vandenveen said well done. So well done to Sue for coming on. Can you lift your microphone up? Timmy White can't hear you. So they have a love relationship, Tim and Timmy. So it'll be all good. But we'll get him to. Danny, thanks for joining us. Love what you're doing. Make sure anyone out there that wants to get involved with the Bathurst Harness Racing Club, I've got to get rid of your name off there. Didn't realise that was on there. Sunday the 19th of March. Nominations or entries are still open right through to the 23rd of November. So still another 6 weeks, really, isn't
definitely.
it? So there'll be people that probably earmark that. But some people may or may not be thinking about selling on. And I think this is pretty smart, this part of it as well, because you will have people that their financial situation changes, where the other sales have all closed for Nutrien. I'll put their dates up a bit later on, but they've all closed, whereas this one's still been open that bit later too. You know, things change, people change, and unfortunately, you know, there comes a time they have to sell some horses.
That's
so
right,
it'll work out pretty good, I think.
Yeah, that's right. They've got, would you say, 6 more weeks to go before they close. So,
same, just another, you know, it might be the horse is just slightly a little bit backwards or something, and you sort of think, well, a wee bit more time, 6 weeks is a long time at this time.
Go and look at the horse and
you
say,
know,
yeah,
you
we'll
go
put
back
it
and
for
go,
sales.
you know, but we'll put it for sale, you know.
Yeah. So, thank you, mate.
Very
You
good.
got a
Thanks
club
for
to run,
having us.
but thank you very much, and thank you very much for giving us this room. It's been lovely, so thanks for the time, mate. Good as gold. Thank you, Danny.
Thanks,
no, you
mate.
will indeed for food. Thank you very much. And Danny Dwyer, and we can't knock the hospitality, mate. It's the door goes the other way. He knows a place in the door. We definitely can't knock the hospitality.
No,
We've experienced for the whole trip.
Yeah, it's been pretty good, hasn't it? You know, everywhere we've gone, we've been very welcoming. So yeah, you couldn't ask for a